What's up, everybody? My name is Kyphxr, and welcome back to Kult Rising. It's been about 6 months since we've done a state of the game video, and we've made a lot of really big changes, and I'm about to make a lot more really big changes, and so I wanted to sort of capture the game in the state that it is now, because I want to document like the incremental growth as things like evolve and change throughout the game. And so once I have like more of a concrete game, I want to be able to make a video going back and looking through like how it evolved throughout the development process. And so tonight we're going to be going over, is this version 1.7.23? Okay, yes, it is. So, Kult Rising is a survival building game set in my version of the Backrooms. And we are currently in Phase 1, which means the focus at the moment is primarily on exploration and collecting artifacts and anomalies. So the sort of core gameplay loop for Phase 1 will be exploring different levels of the Backrooms and collecting various artifacts and anomalies. Some of these will be hidden behind puzzles or certain enemies, and other ones will just be like laying around that you just have to explore the levels to find them. So the idea is to have Metroidvania style levels where you have a lot of replayability through upgrading your exploration methods. So there will be different skills and equipment that give you different abilities and allow you to reach different places, and that, along with procedural areas and random artifact spawns, will basically mean that each time you go through a level, it'll play and feel differently, and so it won't feel like you're walking through the same levels over and over again. So you'll explore in the backrooms to collect these anomalies and artifacts, and then you'll sell them to different traders and merchants. And then as we progress through the phases, we will be introducing different factions and faction reputation, which will be tied into that and tied into different quests. And so it's very like Fallout New Vegas inspired in regards to like the faction reputation and like who you choose to side with and how they react to you in regards to that. And we have like more complex social systems that we're going to be implementing, but that's for later phases, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Right now, the focus is mostly on exploration and item collection, with a heavy emphasis on immersion and atmosphere. There will be certain levels that have entities, so if you enjoy entities in Backrooms games, then you can focus on those levels, but otherwise you can just avoid them, and most of the levels will be more focused on like atmosphere and more puzzle sort of interactions. And so we'll start off here, and this is one of the primary levels of the game, and this is also one of the levels that's about to change pretty significantly. But for right now, I'll give you the lore as, well, this version of the lore that's currently built. And so the idea was this was going to be one of the, is it non-standard levels? I think that's what it's called. But this is going to be one of the non-standard levels. And the idea was it was this giant ocean of fog that had these huge like floating islands throughout it. And then there would be different like sorts of resources on different types of islands. There would be like different outpost groups and things like this, and I wanted to have a level that was sort of disconnected from like the traditional feel of the backrooms, specifically so that I could have like more NPCs and more of like those sort of mechanics that don't quite fit as well in the realm of liminality. And so the idea was that this level was supposed to be like strange, but not necessarily liminal. And then that way there would be like the villages and the outposts and things like that. And this would be like the primary level where you interact with other characters in the game. And then that way the rest of the backrooms can actually be like empty and liminal. And so I think we're probably gonna end up dropping this mechanic altogether. I'm not entirely sure, but the idea was going to be, I actually don't have the model loaded in here, but the idea was going to be, there was going to be these bridges that you could build in between the islands. And so at the start, you would just have access to your island here, and you'd have to play through here, go into the back rooms and get resources, collect resources from around here, and then as you play, you could go through and build bridges to the other islands, and that would unlock new quests, new stories, things like that. I think that's going to change slightly because we are sort of altering how this level works, but that can be for later. Over here, I'm not sure. I do like this entrance. I think I might just put it on another level though. This is, I guess it's another entrance to level 37. I don't know if this is gonna be like a specific sub-level, because it's very obviously like a vaporwave themed pool rooms. And so I think this will probably be a sub-level of level 37. And I'm not sure if this is going to stay here on... This entrance is going to stay here on this level, but I do like the way that it turned out. Especially these orbs, they have like a strangely... They have the same sort of feel as like the balls in Brutalistica, where they have like an almost warmness to them. I don't know how else to describe it. But if we come into here, this is sort of the main base at the moment. And this is probably what's been updated the least since the last episode, actually. Because I think pretty much this entire building is the same. It's just these are VHS tapes. Or, VHS tapes. What the fuck? These are CRTs instead of the doors that they used to be. But I have this, like, just quick teleporter set up here so I can go and look at this. This actually just leads to the pink room, so we're not going to go through there yet. We will go through at least some of the levels, but we'll head back over here and we will head down the elevator just to show this, because this is now working since last time. Last time this just shot you from the top to the bottom instantaneously, and so this, again, I'm not entirely sure, because originally this game, well, at least this portion of the game, was going to have much more of like a Satisfactory style, like the game Satisfactory style of progression system, where it was going to be like sort of very like upgrade progression driven. And so the idea was the elevator was going to be slow, because that was going to be like one of the first things that you would want to upgrade is the elevator speed, so you can go up and down between the level faster. I'm not sure if that's the exact route I'm going to go, and if it's not, then we're just going to make the elevator faster off rip, so you don't have to stand there for like 30 seconds every time you want to go up and down. But we can come over here just to get a little bit of a look at everything from the character perspective. I don't mind these trees. These are going to be replaced. And then the game is also first person and third person. The first person, as you can see, is a little bit more of like an immersive sort of like you have a helmet on kind of look. And then this is the just like a basic camera. And then the idea is most of the game you will have access to third person, but then there will be some what are called immersive zones that force you into first person. But with that being said, I know there are a lot of people who struggle with motion sickness in first person games, so there will be an accessibility feature to turn that off. If you can't, like if you're someone who can't deal with first person games, you will be able to just play in third person the whole time. But I don't think there's anything actually over here to show, so I'm gonna head back. Well, actually, we can look at the fog, because that's really what I wanted to capture with this level initially, because I mentioned this in, was it Project Structure 1? that I was talking about how really love this aesthetic of just like a thick fog that lets things like blend into the distance, and then you can have these like big structures that sort of emerge out of the fog. I still want to do something like that. This level still is gonna have fog, but the way it's being presented is gonna be changed. I don't know if that really makes any sense, but you'll see eventually. As you can see in the bottom left, you have the health and stamina bar. I just took fall damage. But we'll head back over to the tower here. So we'll come over here and we'll head into the sandbox. So the main thing we have over here is the items, and if we look here, this is everything so far. And pretty much all of these images are placeholders at the moment, because I'm still changing like the size of everything and how they actually fit out. But that's not where that goes. You can see it's basically the Tarkov style of inventory system. So you have a grid-based inventory. You can rotate things and shift them around. Everything has different sizes, although there are a lot more stackable things in this game than in Tarkov. So you'll have crafting, your gear, and then your gear obviously each has slots that you can use for storing items. There's different types of loot spawns that you can find, and you can find different items in them. And then we have health items and different consumable. So then we have different consumables like this health and where's the food? They all have the same icon, but you can eat different foods and take different healing items to heal yourself. They each have different kind of stats. We have crafting and cooking stations. If we come over here, we have a trader, which is everything here is kind of just in its basic form. We're still building everything out here, but this is basically like an area for you to just test out the different features and things that we do have implemented at the moment. This water isn't perfect. I don't like the way it looks when you're not in it, but this looks good. I need to fix it. It needs more why do I never remember what they're called? Specular highlights. I need to fix the specular highlights to make it actually look more like water. And then as you can see, we do have weapons in this game. However, the guns and other weapons are mostly going to be for interacting with other humans. They're not going to be super effective against like entities and things like that. But it has the but we do have the Helldivers 2 sort of aiming system, where even if you are in third person, the aiming is still in, the ADS is still in first person. Right now we really only have 3 guns. We have the rifle, the shotgun, and the pistol. We are adding more, but they're just not really set up at the moment. As you can see, even these aren't like, but we do have plans for more weapons in the future. We are probably gonna have a an entire weapons update that is focused just entirely on overhauling all of the weapons, and that's gonna come in a later phase because they're not gonna play a huge role right now in phase 1, and so that's less of a focus, but they are there if you want to play around with them. And we do have a playtest currently available on itch. This version here, so I'd say By the end of this week, this version that I just showcased should be available on itch. The one we are a couple versions behind on the one that you can currently download. And the game is also available to wishlist on Steam. I'm still not 100% sure when we're going to be fully releasing on Steam into early access, but you can wishlist it for now. You can play the playtest on itch. But I think that is pretty much it for what we have at the moment. We do have this, which I'm still working on, the cyber brutalism sort of, what's the game called? Marathon aesthetic. Because we are going to have a level with this sort of design in it. And then, as you can see, this is also an SCP game, but that's also a later phase, so we'll get to that eventually. But I think for now, that is pretty much everything. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't show this. So we also are working on the building system. So you can see we have the basic setup for a building system. This also will be coming fully in a later phase, but I think this is pretty much all that we have. We have more food that you can cook in the furnace. I don't have any, actually. And then you won't get sick from eating raw food. We have crafting benches. This is just an extension of trading and selling. I mean, I guess, I don't have the model here as you can see, but we do have chairs that you can sit in. And then, as I showed earlier, there is fall damage. You can also use items directly from where they are. You don't have to pick them up and use them. But at this point, this is getting like super chaotic, and I'm just kind of rambling about random things. So I think we are going to wrap it up there. Hopefully I can edit this together into something more coherent. But I did just want to kind of have like a documented version. Well, I wanted to document this version of the game because, like I said, there's going to be some big changes over the next week or two. But thank you everybody so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Wishlist the game on Steam. Check out the playtest on itch. Check out the second channel for all of your Cult Rising content, and I will see you next time.